You're looking at how a 59-year-old golfer added 4 miles an hour of clubhead speed, increased his compression, and made his swing more compact. Stick around, we'll show you how he did it. So what we're showing you is a before and after of a golfer that we've had in to the warehouse. And we're looking at his pressure trace. And for those of you who haven't seen much of this stuff, you're looking at his left foot and his right foot, and the big white ball in the center is his combined center of pressure movement throughout the golf swing. And there are a few key benchmarks we're looking at when we're assessing golfers and when we're working with golfers to improve their swings. And it's important to note too that just about everything, or really everything we do in the golf swing with both our body and our club, shows up right here in what you're looking at. This is extremely sensitive. It's very difficult to just stand still and not have this stuff move. So everything we do in the golf swing is reflected in this pressure trace. And there's basically two options when we're working on things. We can either have it be an after the fact kind of this is what happened, or we can be proactive and start to manipulate how we use the ground, how we alter this pressure trace, both in the direction and the timing of it to improve how we move the body in the club. And that's always the option that we choose. So the golfer came in and he was complaining of mishits, he was complaining of loss of distance, and he was complaining about his swing getting too long. So we had all three of those things going on. So we're going to scroll him back to right here, and then we're going to take him to left arm parallel, which is right here. So we can see identical numbers, 37%, 63% on the back foot. Very similar right foot pressure maps, a little bit different left foot pressure maps. Now let's take him to the top of the swing. Now we can see where things really start to get different. So from left arm parallel in the before swing to the top of the backswing, our golfer was still moving his pressure, and in this case, his mass to his rear foot. So he's at the top of his swing now. Again, it's a longer swing. It's more runoff with 75% firmly planted on that right foot because we can see very little pressure on his left foot, just the inside of the heel and inside of the ball of the foot. Compare that now with the top of his after swing. We can see much more center pressure, almost 50-50 at the top, and it is moving sharply back to his front foot. That's a significant difference, and that's typically the best way to control length of swing. So if you're a guy who's got a lot of runoff in the backswing, 99 times out of 100, it's because that pressure, that mass especially, is camped out on the right foot, and you're just running out of range of motion, and then everything starts in the downswing. So as we scroll him forward from the top to left arm parallel in the downswing, again, significant differences now. And what we look for when we're looking at these traces is, if you see that blue dot and you see where the white dot is, we want as much space as we can between those two dots. And we can see in his before swing, those two balls are very close together. And in his after swing, they are on opposite sides of his pressure trace. And that's what we're after. So from left arm parallel in the backswing to left arm parallel in the downswing, we want to basically flip-flop the sides of the pressure. So if we scroll him back, we can see he was 63% on his right foot. That's at left arm parallel. Now if we go to left arm parallel downswing, we can see 66% on his front foot. That's flip-flopping. That's flipping the coin. Now he's mirrored both sides, and that's a great way to look at pressure trace with regards to timing. We can also see how directly his pressure moved. Now if we scroll him into impact, so we wanted as much space as we can get between left arm parallel on the backswing, left arm parallel on the downswing. Now between left arm parallel and the downswing to impact, we want those two balls as close together as possible. This golfer went from 66 to 80%. That's, if my math is correct, that's 14% We ideally want to see that in single digits. So we still have more work to do with him. In his before swing, he went from 63 on his back foot to 69 on his front foot. That is where his inconsistent contact, inconsistent face angle, and lack of distance came from. We've tracked impact locations for years. Anytime we see those two balls, that left arm parallel at downswing and impact, those two balls far apart, over 20% apart, we see a struggle with impact location and a struggle with club face control. Invariably, that's always what we see, including our pro clients. So we always work to get those two balls, get those two land benchmarks close together with regards to pressure. And then if we scroll him, we can kind of see how he just winds up going forward. So one, by getting his pressure to move forward sooner, we tighten up the top of his backswing. By getting him to spread those two left arm parallel benchmarks farther apart, we got him to increase his club head speed. And then by getting him to get that left arm parallel to impact balls closer together, we were able to get him out of the center of the club face, which again gave him more club head speed, the first one, but the second one gave him more ball speed. So that's his compression, and that's where he was enjoying increasing distance from a shorter, more compact swing through better timing of his pressure trace.